Gantt chart development in Excel. While developing the Gantt chart, we will learn if command and the conditional formatting in this session. So by the first session, we have developed this as a desired output. Now in this session, we will learn more command and incorporate that in the Gantt chart. Now this is the output desired out of session 2, where we have added percentage completion, actual start, actual finish, we are getting the delay, and we are getting the status of the activity. And based on this, we are getting a tracked Gantt chart. Now this is again an automatic feature in which while we enter the data, that is actual start and actual finish, the Excel will automatically take the progress update on the Gantt chart. So let's begin with the formatting to make the sheet more manageable. So the first step is we will arrange the project title and the organization name. Now we can select the cells and can directly drag it. In this way, it gets cut and paste at the required location without changing of the formula. So we have changed the certain positions so that we can incorporate project status date at the bottommost line of the major details about the project. We can use the format painter option to get a similar format which is already been assigned to a particular cell. For example, we have changed the format of status date similar to that of project start date. Now the second thing is we need to add few more columns. At any point of time, we can add or delete the columns in the Excel. So to add more column, we will select E, and then you can select Ctrl plus Shift plus sign, or you can directly right click and click on insert. Now we can add one more row at the top and can move the entire first 4 row to the top so that we get more space. Now we will merge the cells so that project title and organization name comes at the center. Now we will merge the cell of row 5 and 6 so that we get a sufficient space for the column heading, and we will add the desired column. We will select the uppermost heading of the project title and provide it with the required color so that the formatting can be done. Similarly, we will format the remaining part. Now our next step is to add the column headings. Now once we add the column heading, that is percentage completion, actual start, actual finish, delay, and the status, then we can adjust the column width. To make the main working space more manageable, we will give the border line by selecting the area and then clicking on the format cell, then clicking on the border and providing the line in the light gray or the dark gray color. So we can select the area and we can make the changes in the borderline. Now based on the progress, we can define the actual start and the actual finish of the activity. And our objective will be the automatic update on the Gantt chart. So we will provide the actual start and the actual finish for the activity and our objective will to make the Excel automation so that the Gantt chart get automatically update. Now you can see here we need to add one more column, that is original duration. Which will be equal to the total time taken by the activity to complete. Now one thing you observe, the activity A is starting on 5th and completing on 8th, so it's a 4-day activity. So when I subtract the planned end date with the planned start date, I will get the value, which is 3rd January. First I'll change the format to the number. Then I can remove the additional decimals. Now the original duration is coming out to be 3, which must be 4 as we can see in the Gantt chart. So for that we can add +1, because in Excel when we subtract two dates, it consider it as a number, and hence the calculation is being done based on that. To correct it we require to add 1. So when we add 1 we get a original duration 4 again. Now let us start updating the progress under the percentage completion. Now suppose we want to say that when we update the percentage completion we should get actual finish. So the user will put actual start, so we can use a simple mathematical formula that actual start plus original duration into percentage complete will be equal to the actual finish. So automatically when we put the start date and the percentage completion, we will get actual finish by using this simple mathematical formula or relation between the actual start and the actual finish. Now one thing you observe, that is delay. Now suppose there is a delay of an activity, then my actual finish date will further move. So we will add delay to the actual finish. So this is a simple formula we derived for actual finish, which is equal to actual start plus percentage into original duration plus delay. Now we will put the actual start and the percentage completion, and when we will drag the actual finish, the same formula will be copied down and we will be able to get the actual finish automatically. So first we will change the formatting of the percent completion. After that when we drag the actual finish, the same formula is dragged down and we are getting the actual finish date. If we put the delay, then the finish date will change accordingly. This is just a simple mathematical formula we are applying to avoid the number of variables. Less the number of variable, easier will be user to update the progress or update the Excel sheet. So now our progress status date, we can change it to 15th January. Now here we see two lines. What if we want a single line to be there to avoid a confusion? At any point of time you can go to conditional formatting and then you can manage the rules. Right now we can see this rule and we can change the border. So instead of two red lines we can select a single red line. Now you will see once I change it, a single red line will be visible. So in this way automatically we are generating a red line based on the project status date, means the date on which the status has been updated. So this is how we are using the conditional formatting. Now let us use the formula similarly we used in previous session so that we get the actual start and actual finish on the bar chart. So our data date or our time period or the calendar date. When our calendar date is greater or equal to the start date, that is the first logic. Our calendar date should be greater or equal to start date and should be lesser or equal to finish date. Then my formatting should be there. Now I have to also see this, that where I have to keep the dollar sign. So for calendar or the time period, I want to keep my row 5 as fixed and G and H also to be fixed. So when I move this cell, I do not want GH to be changed or the row 5 to be changed. So I will put the dollar sign in front of G because I do not want G to change. I will put a dollar sign in front of H because I do not want H to be changed, and I will put a dollar sign in front of 5. By putting this dollar sign, now this value will not change, it will become static. When I move the formula in different cell, the address will not change where dollar sign is kept. So under this Gantt chart area, I want a calendar date to always be there, so I'll fix the row 5, and I want actual start and actual finish to always be there, so I'll fix the G and H. Now once I fix this and use the AND command similarly to the previous session, then I have to do the formatting. Now here I have used the same logic that my calendar date should be greater than the start date or equal to the start date and should be lesser than the finish date or equal to the finish date. Then I will go on format, and then we can choose the formatting. We can use a pattern style also there. This is also one of the way for conditional formatting, making the data more easy to read. Now let us click on OK, and you can see that Excel is now automatically tracking the Gantt chart based on the values we are putting on actual start and actual finish. Now till now we haven't used any new command, but now to get the status we will use a new command, which is the if command. The if command can be used when there are multiple inputs based on which we want a certain output. Now let us see how if command works. Now when we write if command, there is a logical test. Now our test will be whenever, now let us see what input can be there. Either we can give an input as 100% and we want the output as completed. We can either give an input as 0% and output as not started, because 0% completed means activity not yet started. And anything other than that, if there is an input, then we want work in progress. So in simple words, 0% means not started, 100% means started or completed, and others means work is in progress. So let's see how if command can help us to automate this feature. Now if the logic test, my percentage complete, that is F7 is the cell address, is equal to 100%. So if my input is equal to 100%, F7 is the input where the user will enter the percentage. So if the user input is equal to 100%, value if true. So the value if true means if this is 100%, I want completed as an output. And if it's false, I want not started as the output. So now we are using a if command where we are testing that if the user input is 100%, the output should be completed, otherwise should be not started. Now let us see what will happen once we activate this command. Now here you can see the blue cell is the cell equal to F7, which if equal to 100%, the output should be completed unit, and if the logic fails, it should be not started. Now let's learn the if command usage to make the automation in the Excel. Now you can see it is automatically checking the condition, and based on the input it is providing the output. So whenever we have a different input and we want the Excel to decide which output to be there, we can give some logical condition in the if command. Now one more thing is there. Now this is one more step we will move in the if command. Now there is one more option here in the main screen, that we have completed work in progress and not started. So we need one more change in the status so that we get the same desired output. Now we will understand the embedded if command, that is a if command nested in another if command. So again, this will make a very powerful command in Excel. So let's concentrate. Now here we want our output completed when the input is 100%. Now there is again two conditions. So again we need to use if command. So the first condition is if input is 0%, that is if F7 is equal to 0%, my output, that is value if true, should be not started. And if this condition fails, then it should be work in progress. So now if you read this command, we have if F7 is equal to 100%, condition is true, then show completed. If condition is false, then again go into if command, then again check a condition. That F7 is equal to 0%, and if that condition is true, the output should be not started. If that condition is false, the output should be work in progress. Now let's activate this command and let's drag it. Now you can see this is the desired output which we expected. So we used the if command to get the desired output based on the user input. Now you can do the conditional formatting. You can go to conditional formatting, highlight the cell. Now if the value is equal to completed, I want it to be in green color so that it will be easy to filter or to understand that which activities is completed. A conditional formatting is a very important tool which make the report or the whole process of the output very convenient for the end user to read and understand. So I'll again put one more condition, that if my value is equal to work in progress, I want it red font. So you can go there and click on the red font. Even you can make it bold and select OK. So in this way you made a dynamic sheet in which a scheduling can be done, the actual input can be put, and the tracking could be done, and the Gantt chart will be automatically generated. Another objective of these two sessions is that you have understood the if command, and command, dollar command, and conditional formatting. There are a lot more commands which make the Excel much more user friendly and powerful to make it more automation, which we will understand in the further session. We need to have single objective that the input data should be minimum and the self-generated data by the Excel should be maximum to save a huge amount of time. So the variables need to be interrelate through the simple formulas. So we are automatically getting the actual finish, we are automatically getting the Gantt chart and the status.